relying solely on copywriting to make sales in your business in this day and age, then you're leaving so much money on the table. Why am I saying this? Because AI is spitting out copies, spitting out captions in seconds, and the market is now flooded with generic sales messages, making almost everybody sound the same. But do not panic. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why you should not rely solely on copywriting and captions and the things you get from AI. And I will show you 5 sales funnel strategy that makes me million in my business and how you can get started with this strategy as well. So let's dive into it. If you don't believe me, you can go try it out. Go ask ChatGPT, go ask Gemini to generate a sales page copy for you. They will generate it for you. And you know the interesting part, I even use it to generate some of my copies, right? Yes, and these things work. These copywriting work. Exactly, especially when you add your own human touch and you impute your story inside of it. It works, especially for low-stake offers. Now, why this may work for most people, if you do not know how to use AI, you might struggle. There is still so much. You need to be able to take your customer through a process, through a journey that is not just dependent on one singular page, on one singular post, on one singular caption. I'm going to give you an example. But she saw my copywriting and she was like, oh my God, Elo is speaking to me. This is me. That most of the things I said in my caption in the post that she saw while scrolling through Instagram spoke to her. Now, it didn't speak enough to her for her to take action, right? Then she registered for my free webinar. And when she attended the free webinar, she was like, oh no, I am going to pay for this program no matter how much it is. You still need to be able to map out the customer journey because at the end of the day, you're speaking to humans. You're dealing with humans, right? So now, how do you do that? What are the 5 formulas that you can incorporate to make this happen? If you look at my simple example, you already know one of those formulas. One of them is webinar. I love webinars a lot because they work for me all the time. You can give them something actionable in a free webinar that would convince them to want to pay you. Now, this makes your copy, the content that you've created on social media or in advertising, this helps solidify it and help make people take action, right? So when I do my webinars, I also send follow-up emails, follow-up WhatsApp messages, because I know that you might watch the webinar and you might get distracted while watching the webinar and to come back. I leverage copywriting in this system, in the webinar copy, the ad copy to promote the webinar, the emails to promote the webinar, WhatsApp messages, the emails to nurture even after the webinar and to sell what I want to sell to them. But guess what? This person, after going back, through our conversation, I realized that they didn't pay immediately during the webinar. They paid after I followed up with WhatsApp messages to get them to take action. Now let's talk about the second formula. Tripwire funnels are funnels that, are low ticket, right? Low ticket that when people think about the price, it's not really a big deal. Like, oh, okay, it's not that much. Even if I lose this amount, then it's a win-win. So I entered a low ticket funnel one day. A celebrity, if you're Nigerian, you might know her, Attention. She was doing a fitness challenge for 3 days and it's just $1. If you're paying in Naira, that's about 1,600 Naira. And I paid for it. I looked at the sales page. I didn't feel like I needed the fitness challenge. I was already going to the gym. But I was like, oh, okay, I just wanted 600, let me pay for it. So I paid and I got into that system. She did the 3 days fitness challenge and it was really good. And after the 3 days, guess what? She has sold us to something else that is over $100 and close to $200 if I can. So that's another way that you can get people to take action, by giving them something that is of low risk. It can be low risk in terms of installment payment. I sold a $375 as 416,000 Naira offer, to people. And I realized that some people might not want to bring out that so much money at once. So I created a payment plan that allows them pay in over a period of. Now I've reduced the barrier, I've reduced the risk, right? Of making payments, of taking action. Now, formula number 3. Formula number 3 is the evergreen funnel. I love this a lot. What is evergreen? Evergreen is when you create something that can keep selling over and over and over again. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Why is it so good? Because you only have to do the work once, and then you just keep sending traffic to it, keep advertising it, getting new people in, and it's to sell on its own. Let me give you a typical example. An evergreen funnel is, let's say you create a course or you create a product, and then you do a freebie, right? You do a freebie. It will mean that people have to download the free book. They have to read it before they can take action. And to be honest, not so many people like to read, except maybe your target audience can use book, right? I personally like to use short videos, webinars, because people can just stay in the webinar, watch it, hear what you're saying, take what you want to take, give them the offer, and yeah. So evergreen funnels are funnels where you don't have to always do a big launch. You just have to do the work once, and you keep running traffic to that product, to that freebie, and that's it. I have an evergreen funnel as well. So everything I'm sharing with you are things that you can combine to just make your strategy work, to ensure that you're not just writing words here and there and they are not all coming together, right? So a typical example of one of my evergreen funnel is my course launch blueprints, right? I've created a course, but this is 2025 and that course is still selling. I'm not even doing so much. So what I do is I do a webinar, record the webinar, host the webinar on YouTube or on a landing page, and then I run ads to get people to register to watch that webinar. After they watch the webinar, they see the offer to buy the course. And while that is going on, I've already triggered emails that will be coming to them over a period of weeks, selling them the what? The course. So that's evergreen funnel. So now formula number 4 that I'm going to be sharing with you is cohort-based funnel. I like cohort-based funnels because they sort of like are exclusive, right? I think I'll merge it with exclusivity, which is like the fifth formula. So exclusive funnel and cohort-based funnel, I use them together. That's why I want to explain them together. So point 4 and point 5, I'm explaining them together. Cohort-based funnel is where you do a training or you sell a product based on cohort. I have that as well. So not all cohort-based funnels incorporate exclusivity. So that's very exclusive because the number is limited and also it only happens once in a year. Crazy. So exclusivity is something you can incorporate into any funnel. This will make you stand out, make you different, because it's not just only about writing captions or creating content or just writing a sales page copy anymore, right? And so when you have that understanding, you add it to your copywriting. Your copy will sound different. Or you're doing a webinar, right? When you ask yourself, what is the end goal of this webinar? Oh, the end goal is to teach people this, that, or to do this, and you add that to your copy, it helps you stand out. It differentiates you. So it's not just only about, doing copywriting. And this is also very good for people who offer copywriting service. These days, people believe that get copies from AI. So the way you can increase your value is not just only rendering copywriting services, but see how you can incorporate some of these funnel strategies in to help people make money, to help people get results that they are looking for. And if you're a business owner, try any one of this one and let me know if they work out for you. Let me know the result that you get after you try. And do not forget to like this video and then subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week. Bye.